Good evening. Thank you very much, Paul and Victor, the entire board of directors, HACIA, Dominic Delgado, a great friend of mine, and all those 31 years ago who came together, 1979, to form HACIA, a group of entrepreneurs who decided to build the bridges then and extend it all the way in 31 years. I thank you for your commitment to our city. On many of the programs that we talk about, HACIA is always in the forefront of what is good for Chicago, what is good for the county and the state and this country. I deeply appreciate their commitment. But most importantly is to see all of you here this evening. On behalf of this organization, it's made a difference. Why did this organization succeed? It succeeded because Chicago is known as a city of immigrants. Our past, our present, and the future. That is the great success of America, and especially of Chicago. When immigrants come here, they bring their commitment of work ethic, their commitment of family values, their commitment of church beliefs. They said, we're going to come here and make a different way of life for my children and grandchildren. I'm going to give them things that I could never dream of. I'm going to give them things that I could ever reach to, only in America. And that's why Chicago's commitment to the immigrants is so strong today. And that's why we need fair immigration laws. We've never seen anything in America like what's happening today. Dividing families, separating families, looking at them as the enemies of our country. They were never the enemies. They were the people who made this country, immigrants. They came here and worked, and they continue to do that today. And that's why it's important, again, to have fair immigration laws. It does not affect the immigrants today. It affects the immigrants of the past. Because if these laws were in effect, none of us would be here today. And that's why it's extremely important that you contact your senators and congressmen and ask them for that legislation. But most importantly, this is a tough economic time. You know that individually in all your businesses. And the problem today is lack of understanding that a stimulus package is not for 6 months. It's not for 1 year. We have to be 20, 25 years. Let's think of our children and grandchildren. Let's not think about today. Let's always think about the future. When you compare us to India and China, they're doing things, when you travel there, we come back and all say, how did they do it? Because they're thinking of 25, 30, 40 years ahead. They're thinking about education. They're thinking about infrastructure continually, not for 6 months, 1 month, or 2 years, or not because of an election. They're thinking for the country. We have to get back as a nation. Like you have said, building bridges from one community to another, one ward to another ward, one city to another city, one state to another state, and show what we're doing here through the efforts of HACIA, all the efforts of scholarship programs, recognizing young people, mentoring young people during the summer. To me, that's what makes a city. It's not what you read in the headlines. It's people like yourself. Every day go to work. Every day form a company. Every day pay your federal, state, and local taxes. And do what is necessary, not only for your family, but for your company. That is the history of Chicago, and that should be the history of America. Building bridges. And when you saw the young students from Farragut ROTC program walk in, you think today, in 2 more years, they could be fighting a war. For all of us here, that's why we always have to reflect upon those who were willing to serve us as a volunteer army, young men and women going overseas to see what they see every day in war, at the same time give us what we need in America, democracy. We must reaffirm our faith in job opportunities to disabled veterans and those who come out of the armed forces because they are willing to serve as a volunteer army. I thank you for this award. This award goes to many people on the dais and out there. It goes to, yes, city, state, federal officials that work together. It goes to the contractors, all those that are willing to work on behalf of the city of Chicago. The MBA and WBA is not a giveaway program. We don't give anything. It's called accountability and responsibility. Do not be ashamed as an MBA, WB, and starting out, because it's called responsibility. You take that responsibility seriously, you do a good job on behalf of the people of the city of Chicago. But most importantly, you hire people who need jobs. And to me, the whole essence of the next 4 to 8 years is we willing to sacrifice in order to hire more people in all types of jobs in America to give them food on the table, to give them opportunities that we want to give, and not just through another program. We want a program that lasts 8 or 10 or 15 years. To me, that is called leadership. I ask you this summer, do me one favor. When we talk about the high school students, if you could just mentor them for 3 or 4 hours a day during the summer months, that makes a difference here in our city. When you touch a child, 14, 15, 16-year-old, and say, I have an interest about your life and what you do, it could be a 4-hour program, 5 days a week, 20 hours a week. To me, that will bring benefits to you and your company more than anything else you can do in life. I thank HACIA for the partnership in building bridges. What a great thing. I thank you for this honor on behalf of the city of Chicago. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.